Hi, this is Tom Soane and welcome to another episode of The Anonymous Landlord, because these are the things I think about on my way to the office. And today, this is going to sound a bit weird, but I wanted to tell you what I do. And that's going to sound weird because you know that I do podcasts, you know that I do property advice, property training, all that sort of stuff. I'm not a trainer, by the way, I'm not a coach, I don't offer training courses. But I kind of train people through my videos, through my podcasts, and also through discovery calls that people book with me. It's half an hour where you'll tell me what your challenge is, or what you're looking to achieve, or what cash you're looking to invest, or how you want to invest. And that enables me to discover your challenge, or your problem, or your situation, or your goals. And then I will provide my best advice that I can possibly give you. So that's what a discovery call is. So I guess that's how I do training and mentoring, so to speak. But I certainly don't do charged training courses or charged mentoring as such. Not yet, anyway. I've been asked so many times from people that want me to mentor them, but it's not really something I'm looking to get into right now. So I apologise to everyone I've rejected for that. Maybe in the future I might. But certainly for the time being, I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm making good profits from what I'm doing, so I don't need to expand that. Anyway, I don't know why I'm telling you all that, but the original point was, what do I actually do? So, first of all, my main core business is lettings management. Now, that started off as a little local agent. It's grown into a bigger local agent, multiple branches across the south. And that has also since grown into a national lettings management agency. And the national component of my lettings management agency specialises in portfolio landlords and property investors who invest around the country. The reason being is that I work with a lot of landlords who have portfolios spread out around the country, and they have multiple letting agents managing their property. And one of the big challenges that they said to me was having multiple agencies looking after their properties. Now, it's not that these agencies are doing anything wrong. Some are, but some, generally speaking, these agents are doing an okay job. But the property investor and the landlord in question, on so many occasions has said to me, I would much rather have all of my properties around the country looked after by one agency, one central point of contact, where I can approach and I can deal with just one agent. And I know that that one agent then has teams in place around the country where my properties are. So that's how that lettings management business evolved into a national agency. And the way that works, and bear with me on this might be useful to people that are looking to branch out into portfolios, but the way that works is that my letting agency manages your property. That is your central point of contact. You have a single person looking after you as the landlord. You are the client. And then as part of the management, we have really advanced technology that manage all the rent. It's instant same day rent payments. All the deductions are automated, meaning you don't have to wait for your rent. That's the point. And I've invested a lot of money in that, but geez, it's worth it. It really is. It works like a dream. Every time, as soon as the rent comes in, it's immediately in your bank, Mr. and Mrs. Landlord. And like I say, I've invested heavily in being able to do that, but it is well worth it. Then there's the maintenance and repair element, which can be quite tricky if it's all being done manually by an individual agent. Again, I've invested a lot of money in making a system from that, and it's a completely robust system that manages the contractors, the tenants, the appointments. It makes sure that jobs are completed within a certain time frame. It makes sure that quotes are collected, the right quote is selected, and therefore keeping your property investment profitable, but also efficient, and making, look, because there's a lot of legislation around maintenance and repair. And this system that I've invested a lot of money in means that you stay compliant as well as your property stays maintained and in a good state of repair. Your tenants are comfortable and everything is safe. So that's a really good system. And then from there, there's the central point of contact. So I have a team of people that only deal with the landlords. And so when you have a query, you contact your person, your account manager, and they deal with the problem for you. That's it. And so then the question comes about, how do they deal with properties, say, in Newcastle or Manchester or Wales or Wolverhampton or Birmingham or anywhere like that? It's a really simple answer in that we work with local letting agents around the country. And to put that to give that a bit more context, we work with local agents in those areas for contractors, because actually letting agents have the best contractors in that local area. That is absolutely certain. And so we've got a great contractor team because I am very well connected with a lot of letting agents around the country. Secondly, there are the feet on the ground in that local vicinity. So not only can we get advice and opinion about areas, demographics, tenant types, all of those things, but we can also get, for you, Mr. and Mrs. Landlord, viewings accompanied and tenants actually met and vetted. Now, the local letting agents are incentivized to provide good tenants, because if they don't, then they won't get repeat business from my business, and they will end up being able to work on properties that they would never have known before. The landlord wins because they have a central point of contact for all of their properties around the country. The local letting agent wins because they've got good incoming business from places where they've never had business before. My business wins because we're able to work with landlords on properties that maybe we might not have worked with before. And the tenant wins as well, because the tenant also has a central point of contact who knows the landlord, knows all of the other landlords, all of the other properties in the landlord's portfolio, so that the letting agent, my letting agency, Pink Street, is able to utilize the same preferences, the same processes, the same systems for all of the landlord's properties. And that helps all of the tenants as well. And the best part about that is that it's all one price. There's not different fee structures for different letting agents and different charges and markups and problems and challenges and staffing issues and all of that. It's one company dealing with everything. So look, obviously, if you want to take advantage of that, then just send me an email or get in touch with me through Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn or anything. But that's the letting agency. Now, that's my core business. Now, I also have an estate agency, so I do property sales as well. Not really too much more to say about property sales. It is what it is, isn't it? There's not really too many ways to tart that up. Property sales, for me anyway, it's all about the people that are selling the property. And you, if you're selling a property, you're only going to choose the agent in front of you that you like and you get on with and you trust, because you're going to work with them for the next 6 months. So you have to be able to get on with them. So, you know, I like to think that the team that I've employed, I've got a really good balance of excellent experience and knowledge and expertise, very highly qualified and experienced team. But also they are charismatic, they have good personalities and characters. They're absolutely ridiculously hardworking, which in the sales environment is vital. And they're also quite proud of their work, which I also think is quite important. But anyway, there's not really too many ways to sell to you a property sales agency. Most estate agents are the same as each other, really. They all advertise in the same places. They all do the same things. They generate viewings. They negotiate offers. They try and push the sale through to completion as best they can. And most estate agents get paid when the job is done. So they are incentivized for that. Anyway, so yeah, property sales. That property sales agency, by the way, do specialise in a component called landlord to landlord property sales service. Very catchy name. I've been trying for ages to think of a better name for that. I've even tried putting it out on Facebook for people to give me a better name, but no. Anyway, so that's the lettings management, both local along the south coast and also the national agency as well. I forgot to mention within that I do provide a DIY service, like a DIY landlord service. I called it the Anonymous Landlord, but I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with that name. What it is wherever you are in the country, doesn't matter. My letting agency, Pink Street, will take care of the compliance, get you legal. They'll do all of the referencing of the tenant, do all of that stuff. And then ongoing, you can pay as you go. So we'll take care of the ongoing compliance to keep you legal, keep you up to date with legislation and law. And then you handle all the inquiries. So your tenant will make a maintenance request or a repair request. That will come through to us. We filter it to make sure that it is a legitimate inquiry and it's not something the tenant should be looking after themselves. And we just pass it over to you. It also means you get to take advantage of our emergency out of hours service, which is vital. If you're going to be a landlord, you must have an emergency out of hours service. Somewhere or some way that the tenant is able to have a problem solved out of hours if it's an emergency. So anyway, that's that. Letting agency, Pink Street, estate agency, Pink Street. And hopefully that clears that bit up. But there's more. I am also a property broker. And what that means is I'm not a sourcing agent. I do not go out and source properties. I've done that for many, many years for clients, and I don't do that as much anymore. What I am is a property broker which has a very large network of property sourcing agents that I know, I've trusted, I've bought myself through, and I know clients that have bought through as well. And I have vetted them myself. I've done my own due diligence on them. And so that network of sourcing agents, they go around all day, every day, viewing properties, speaking to agents, speaking to lawyers, speaking to repossession firms and knocking doors and doing all that to try and find really good property investment deals. And those sourcing agents find property deals like straight out flips, where you buy a property, you do it up, you sell it. Or buy to lets, where you buy a property, you don't really need to do anything, you just rent it out. Maybe it's already rented and it's a really good investment return, or maybe it's going to be empty and you put a tenant in there for a good yield. Also, flip to lets, sometimes known as buy, refurbish, refinance, or BRR. Flip to let for me is where you buy it, you do it up, you rent it out. You might incorporate into that some element of refinancing at the time of the completed refurbishment, or you might save that refinancing for a couple of years down the line to release 75% of the growth in value of that property. So all of these sourcing agents, what they do for me is bring a property to me that they have found and they have sourced. And that's sometimes also called deal packaging, where someone will find a property, let's say where I am right now, let's say someone goes and knocks that door over there and the owner says, yeah, I am interested in selling, it needs a lot of work. And the sourcing agent will agree provisionally a sale price. And then that sourcing agent will give me a call and say, Tom, I've got this property here. Here are all the details. These are all the numbers. This is what I've agreed. This is what work I think needs doing. I'll normally get a video of that property, or at least some quite comprehensive pictures and quite comprehensive details and descriptions. And then I'll start doing my due diligence on that property. I quite enjoy that due diligence. It's a bit geeky, I don't know. I'm a bit of a spreadsheet geek. I'm a bit of a research geek. I love it. And then once I've done that DD, due diligence, and research and analysis, and I figure that it's a good investment opportunity that I would buy myself. If I don't buy it myself, because I can't buy them all. I'd love to, but you know how it is. I will pass it on to the correct property investor who I have had a discovery call with, I've done a fact find with, I've vetted, and I've agreed that I will work with this property investor. I don't work with everybody. I could. I've got a lot of people that want me to broker properties to them, but I don't work with everybody. It's going to sound really silly, but I have to like you. I have to be able to get on with you. I don't just have a chat with you and then say, yes, I could make a little fee here. I don't work like that. I don't need a load of extra money. That's not my goal. Don't get me wrong, I'd love extra money, but that's not my goal in who I work with and who I choose to work with. I am more focused on enjoying everything I do and making money as well. And if I'm working with someone I don't really get on with, I don't really like, I just won't work with them. Simple as that. But that sounds really doom and gloom, doesn't it? I'll have a discovery call with someone and have a good chat over a few different occasions. And then if I decide that I want to work with that person, I will, and I'll provide them with good properties. If I don't, that's not to say that person will never get any properties, because there are many sourcing agents that can provide properties. I guess the added benefit to working with me is that which sourcing agents do you trust? That's a really, really difficult one, because there are so many training courses now that teach you how to do deal packaging or teach you how to be a property sourcer or something similar to that. And what happens is people are going in to these training courses and then coming out, going on Rightmove, seeing if they can knock $5,000 off the asking price, but packaging it up as a really good investment to investors and then charging them a fee for that. I disagree with that. I think if you're going to source a property and deal package a property, it has to be a deal. And you can't fluff up valuations. You can't overestimate rental income, because you'll just get found out. That's the one thing about property that you can't hide from, because you are 100% reliant on a tenant or a buyer buying or renting that property. If you constantly overvalue rent and sale price, then you'll get found out. People will name and shame you. Anyway, back to the point. The point was that I have vetted those people. I know those people. That sourcing agent is somebody that I trust and I know. Also, I will have checked out their valuations. I will have done my DD on the demand, the activity in the area, the demographics of the area, the growth potential, the risks. I will have already done all of that. And that's why you would work with me as your property broker rather than go straight to a sourcing agent that maybe you don't know. So that's my property broker. And look, hey, if you want to work with me on that, then again, drop me an email, tom@pinkstreet.co.uk, or you can just contact me through Facebook. That's probably the quickest way. I answer all my messages on Facebook. I get quite a lot. So I get through them as best I can. But I quite enjoy having chats with people on Messenger. It's good fun. So that's the letting agency, the local letting agency is. And by the way, my hometown is Portsmouth, or my home city is Portsmouth. And my branches are around that area, maybe in, say, a 20-mile radius, 30-mile radius. That's where I cover. My national lettings management agency tends to only work with portfolio landlords. But if you like what I'm talking about and you only have properties, say, in Birmingham, but you like what I'm doing, you like what I'm saying, then hey, I can work with you too. Then there's the property broker and the estate agency, as I've said. And lastly, I run webinars. I run online, I suppose you could call them training programs, where I've just recorded a training workshop and then I sell it. I don't sell it for a massive amount of money. It ranges anywhere from £5 up to 25 quid for the video. The videos are on all topics to do with property investment, because I've been doing this for 20 odd years. I know so much. I'm not saying I know the most. I still learn from other people. I learn from trainers. They learn from me. I learn from other coaches. They learn from me. I learn from serial property investors and they learn from me. In fact, I had a conversation with someone the other day who had 32 properties off the top of my head. And I won't go into the big detail now, but we were talking through, he decided he wanted to grow that portfolio now. He's been sat on that portfolio for a while and he decided he wanted to grow it. So I went through all of his portfolio. We put a strategy in place, and he said to me, he said, geez, Tom, I've been doing this for 30 odd years. And he said, that's a totally new way to look at it. Thank you very much. We're going to go with that. Now that's going to be great for me because, you know, it means that I get to work with a very prolific property investor, but also great for him because he gets to almost double the income that he's getting without investing any more cash, just by looking at it from a new way. So yeah, that's what I do. So yeah, letting agency, local letting agency, national estate agency, the property broker. And so if you want to work with me on any of those, or you just want to maybe buy my videos which train, you just pay for the ones that you want. Sometimes they're a few quid, sometimes they're a bit more. It depends on the content, really. And hey, if anybody begrudges me from charging a bit of money for that stuff, then you're probably listening to the wrong person, because look, I'm a businessman. All I'm doing is selling my product the same way as that you go into Tesco's and you buy a Kingsmill loaf of bread. Kingsmill are just selling their product. But you know what? I don't have a factory that makes bread. What I have is everything up here that I've worked my absolute tits off to build: connections, experience, knowledge. I've spent thousands and thousands and thousands on training and mentoring, and as in I've been mentored and trained by multiple people. I've made tons of mistakes. I've hit rock bottom, and it wasn't even that long ago. It was a few years ago. I absolutely hit rock bottom with the business and completely rebuilt myself and rebuilt my business. So I've been there a few times and I've done it, and I've learned the hard way and the easy way. I've learned as many angles as I possibly could to now be in a position where I can make a video and share that knowledge, and people are benefiting from my experience and my knowledge. I'm not saying that I've done it all, but I can offer you my perspective, my opinion, and my advice. And there will be other trainers that can offer you different advice. There'll be other trainers that know what I know. There'll be trainers that don't know what I know. And there's trainers that I don't know what they know. You're never going to get that perfect. There is not one person that can give you all answers. So the way I see it is with my workshops that I sell, my videos that I sell with what I would probably call more premium content. That is more a case of, what do you want to learn about? If you want to learn about ways to raise finance to buy a property investment, then that's one video. It might cost you 15 quid, but it's investing in yourself, isn't it? And you might go and get the same course from someone else for 500 quid. You might be able to go and watch all of those videos on YouTube for free. But my training will probably be for that particular topic, it'll be between 5 and 20 quid. It's up to you. No one's forcing you to do that. No one's forcing you to take the advice. But hey, for the sake of 5 to 20 quid, you might as well give it a go, eh? Why not? Might even just give you one little hint. Or you might even watch my video. You might know everything I explain in that video. But I might explain it in a way that gives you a little bit of motivation. Who knows? Whatever it is you get out of it, I promise you this, it will be £5 to £20 well spent. And if it's not, well, you know, I'll give you a refund. Case by case, I'll check it out. I'll see who you are. I mean, look, if you do training of any kind and you don't implement what the trainer has advised you, then you're not gonna succeed from that training. So you probably already knew that anyway. So that's everything that I do. Outside of that, I'm a golfer. I love business. Business is just my passion in every way, shape or form. I love all types of business. I love analysing all types of business. Just the inner workings of business it's a real geeky love of mine. And once you start growing into business and you start learning the more advanced and the forensic levels of business, you really start seeing how business applies everywhere, certainly in property. I have no idea what I'm talking about now, but that's everything that I do. And if you want to work with me on any of those things, then just contact me, tom@pinkstreet.co.uk, or it's best to contact me through the Facebook page. One way or another, get in touch. If you don't want to work with me, then just keep watching my videos, and they'll all be free, or keep listening to my podcasts. They'll all be free, and hopefully we'll all move forward together and make some profit. I hope that helps. Speak to you all later.